Hello there, internet dwellers. Welcome back to another video. Today we are reacting to a series by a creator we have watched in the past before. They were formerly known as Oblivion/Siltrix, and they did the Bat analog horror, if you remember that, about Bruce Wayne and the Batman being like this freaking villain, basically this horror villain. It was really good. You guys really enjoyed that series. They have rebranded themselves now due to a bunch of copyright and stuff on that series as the Unknown Patriarch. And with that, a new series called God Save the Angels. This series is basically an analog horror about colonialism, like extreme colonialism. Let's just say that. That's literally what this is about the more I think about it. It's a very well thought out universe, very well put together, very well written, and unique. Very unique. I would never have thought to have done an analog horror on this extreme colonialism, but here we are. Be sure to check out the Unknown Patriarch. They will be linked in the description down below alongside the playlist. Go watch it for yourself. Watch it in a muted tab alongside me if you wish to give them watch time. And we're just going to jump straight into this. Here we go. Lament of the Son of the Morning. Here we go, guys. So this is the first video that we're going to be reacting to, and in the description we have a Bible verse from Isaiah. Is that how you say that? I apologize if I'm butchering that. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart,
I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High.
But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit. Those who see you stare at you. They ponder your fate. Is this the man who shook the earth and made kingdoms tremble? The man who made the world a wilderness, who overthrew its cities and would not let his captives go home. Right, so we know that this is about the devil, basically, or Lucifer. That's what he was called, right? He was originally an angel, fallen angel, came down, fell from the heavens. I'm not sure what the actual story is there. I haven't read the Bible. So this one's called Lament of the Son of the Morning. So here we go. This is only 1 minute long.
The stars that once sang for me. I hate him with the silence that followed. I was the flame before flame had shape.
Right.
The first to bow and the first to rise. But pride is treason when sung too loud. So he unsheathed his voice like judgment and cast me headfirst through the gates. I fell past Eden's ruined bloom, past Babel's greed and Rome's dark womb.
Right.
I spoke through tyrants, through the cross. Where man knew pain, I
spoke through the cross.
Was the loss. Now madness gnaws where reason lay. So mark me, sons of dust and day. He took heaven, and I take clay.
Right. I'm trying to immediately try and gauge what the story might be about. Maybe an alternative version of Lucifer coming down and maybe being successful. Well, I mean, the whole thing, I don't know how to interpret the Bible. I don't know. I guess it can be interpreted in a numerous amount of ways. From what I imagine, the devil came down and he tempts us with, like, sin or, these things that will give us riches or give us all this things that will make us feel good. But it's sinful, right? See, the way I see it, like esoterically speaking, is that Lucifer, who was at the all high. I just realized my camera isn't on. I mean, my light isn't on. Give me a sec, guys. There we go. Much better. That's like a frequency that we can hit. Like God frequency is something that you can attain through, like, raising your frequency. And I think God is, like, I don't want to bash any Christians, any kind of religion at all. Just my interpretation of the Bible is that God is a kind of frequency, a thought, a feeling that we can hit, that we can reach, not that we are God. Well, I guess we all technically are God, and they say that we're shaped in God's image. but like that's the all high, the highest you can be. And Lucifer fell down to earth, which is the lowest, or just below earth, I'm guessing, or he fell from the stars, didn't he? Down here is the lowest frequencies, like shame, guilt, fear, and that's what the devil is represented with. It's all these negative emotions. And as Christians, or not even as Christians, any religion or any kind of just non-religious person, our goal in life, I believe, is just to really naturally go up in this frequency, to be better people, feel better, do better, and reach enlightenment, which I think the Buddha hit on. I don't know, I haven't done a lot of research on religions and all that. I don't want to offend anybody. That's just my kind of esoteric breakdown of what I think that story is about. I think the Bible, if anything, I don't think it's meant to be taken literal. It's like a guidebook for life on how to live a prosperous life, a healthy and meaningful, fulfilled life. And it's hidden, the messages that are hidden in there. And there's a lot of esoteric meanings you can take from the Bible, which I find interesting. But that's, I'm guessing, like, so what's happened here is, like, as you're saying, like, the devil spoke through a lot of people and spoke through tyrants and stuff. This is going to be about an alternative timeline of something, of some kind. Let's move on to the next video. God save the king. Hosea 8-4 states, "They set up kings without my consent. They choose princes without my approval. With their silver and gold, they make idols for themselves to their own destruction." So I'm guessing this is about false idols, and this is about us choosing people to lead us that maybe God didn't approve of, maybe. The verse highlights the consequences of Israel's choice to appoint leaders without seeking God's guidance, leading to spiritual ruin and idol worship. But how are you, let's be so for real right now. How do you just have a conversation with God? Like, you hear a voice and he goes, yeah, choose that man over there. Like, I'm not disrespecting anything at all. I genuinely am curious as to this. Like, how do you seek guidance of God if you don't hear back from him? Like, you could be like, they could have chose someone because they think, oh, I think this is what God maybe would have wanted, without God actually coming down and being like, hey, yeah, choose this guy. He's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit harsh of God to be like, oh, can't believe that. Why would they do that then? When you there, like, I don't know. This time I'm guessing he has like people who he talks to maybe. Were they just ignoring him? The throne was never empty. You just forgot who sat on it. Oof. Damn. Okay, so this whole thing is about the British Empire, which is weird. Here we go. Let's jump in. The history of our new empire. British Crown Ministry of Affairs. Okay. Damn, they were giving it some at the end there, weren't they?
Loyal subjects of the Crown. In these times of great change, it is important to remember who we are and what we have returned to. In order to properly understand our great kingdom, we must go back to a dark time in our kingdom's history. For centuries, the British Empire stood as a beacon of law, order, and divine inheritance. However, the winds of war and whispers of modernity shattered our dominion. The subjects descended into chaos as they buried the Acts of Union. The sun had set, and we were left in what was thought of as an endless night. However, His Majesty King Alexander I, descended from the Northern Line, preserved by fire and silence, took his rightful place upon the throne. Not a throne of conquest, but of unification. Not inherited by blood alone, but by memory, vision, and sanction from above. The sun has finally rose again. The Reunification Act, passed without dissent, welcomed back the territories that once strayed. Together, we now form the Holy Kingdom of Britannia, under one king, one law, and one eternal light. God has endowed the British people with an eternal empire to last a millennia. To you, the faithful, subjects of Britain reborn, we say, you are the foundation upon which this age is built. You are the clay, the flame, the echo, the oath. And to those who still question, still linger in the shadow of false freedoms, We urge you to be calm. There is no need to fear His Majesty's return. He has not forgiven the silence, and he is not alone.
Right. Okay. Well, what did that say at the end? He has not forgotten the betrayal.
This has been a message from the British Ministry of
Who,
Affairs.
God?
Please now rise for the national anthem.
Got to rise. United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. And Ireland. Okay, so this was before the divide? Was there I'm not good with my history, guys. Because it's Northern Ireland, right? That's what Great Britain is. But then again, no, hang on a second. It's Great Britain. Northern Ireland is part of Great Britain, and Ireland, I'm guessing they don't want anything to do with us. The Scots hardly want anything to do with us. No one really wants anything to do with the English anymore, you know. At one point in time, the English used to be like something to be... We were a powerhouse, you know what I mean? Now what is it? Keir fucking Stalin. That guy looks like he apologizes after he jizzes. Right, Ryan, stop it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Right, so... Do we really have to sit through this? Okay, God save the Emperor, British Raj. Oh, okay, so the unification of British Australia. So they brought back the countries that were once colonized and recolonized them. South Africa. How did an island of this size take over like 70% of the world? It's ridiculous. British Argentina. British Jerusalem. British China. Oh my goodness. Okay. The king prays, we follow. But no one asks who is listening. His Majesty King Alexander I, by the grace of God, Sovereign of the Holy Kingdom of Britannia, King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, King of the America. Okay, geez, he's king of a lot of things here, isn't he? Emperor of India, King of Hong Kong and the South China. So he's basically king of the world at this point. Guardian of the Nine Seals. What the hell does that even mean? Governor of the Church, voice between thrones. The fuck is voice between thrones? Okay, so I was given like a dossier before on like this whole analog horror, which is a good sign, isn't it? Like you need a freaking dossier to understand what the hell's going on here. But apparently voice between thrones is a mysterious title invoked only during coronation mass, believed to signify the king's intermediary role between celestial powers once divided by war. Good God. So, and he was the one that brought all this together again? How's he done that then? It's the whole thing like, because it was talking about the Morning Star, like Luke. You good, bro? Your mic's on. Oh, okay. I knew it. So Lucifer is the shadow, like, so he's being possessed by Lucifer. It is Lucifer themselves. What did that say? Revelation 00 something, and then he spoke. So, what we're getting so far is Lucifer falls down from heavens, right? And takes over tyrants and stuff. So he is like literally in control of the king right now. And maybe even before the king, he was in charge of it. Here's the thing, like if Lucifer fell from the very start of like Rome or whenever the heck it was, right? Why was he just not, is it suggesting that he was like the tyrant of every, like he was controlling every single kind of tyrant at the time or leader at the time? And now Alexander I is the one where he's unified everyone together, and now they look up to Alexander I as some kind of deity almost, because he's able to like unify everybody. And now obviously he's going to be more powerful because a lot more people worship him in a way. I don't know. This is all just guesswork, guys. Let's move on. false prophets. They sainted the name to bury it, but Era still bleeds beneath the ash. Okay, I think that's how to Era. I'm not sure. I apologize for getting that wrong, but apparently Era is an old goddess of Ireland, goddess of sovereignty. So literally the goddess of Ireland, of the country, I guess. Right, let's move on. Oh, shit. Non genitus, non promissus, et
The
tamen.
following video is to be shown to the subjects of the Dominion of St. George, the Raj, the Australo-Ceylon Crown Territories, the Crown See of Jerusalem, the Crown Isle of St. Eyre
What was that?
Territories, the Crown See of Jerusalem, the
This is corrected history.
Crown Isle of St. Eyre, the Crown Dominion of West Britannia, and the Dominion of Zion.
Dominion of Zion. All crown subjects are required to remain seated during the film.
In the beginning, there was silence. The stars did not burn. The seas did not move. No voices sang. Creation came not from love, but from division. A blade was drawn, and from its edge came light. The heavens were measured, the world enforced. Eden bloomed, but not as a gift. It was a vault, a prison with a garden's face.
Fortus est what?
And when the boundary was broken, we were cast out. Not for disobedience, but for getting too close.
Right.
Some say a guardian stood at the gates, a name long forgotten, struck from the scrolls. He was there once, a watcher, a sword bearer.
Okay. A watcher. And so he was placed, not born, not beckoned, but placed. The star did not guide, it warned. And when the child opened his eyes, the world closed its own. This is going to be one of those that I'm just really going to struggle to understand, isn't it? I can already see it. Okay, we're talking about Jesus. Heresy.
In the east, old songs were whispered through stone walls. The emerald bled. They called themselves the Irish Republican Army,
Yeah.
but the church called them penitent.
Faith has
In the
failed.
west, they
Does it
marched
faith has
beneath
failed
13
you?
Stars.
Faith has failed here.
In the west, they marched beneath 13 stars, calling themselves sons, but their voices were not heard. The streets filled with chants, and emptied just as quickly.
New Sons of Liberty. Rebellion is futile. By order of His Majesty the King, recognition days begin this Sunday. All subjects must... Okay, so they literally have... Am I reading this correctly that this Alexander I was being worshipped, basically? All subjects must attend the viewing. Do not bring names. Do not bring names. What the hell does that even mean? What the hell is even that? I don't know what that means. If there is a God, he needs forgiving. So was Alexander I this false prophet? I mean, I guess so. It was alluring to the facts, or basically just spout outright that they're the devil, right? It's going to be one of those series, I think, that the more we watch, maybe the more we'll understand, or it could even go the other way. The more we watch, the less we understand. But let's find out, guys. Conversion of the jewel. He does not forgive. He remembers. What does he remember then? Eh? Let's bloody find out, shall we? My camera's going to die soon. Incoming transmission from the Ministry of Moral Culture. Remain seated and gather everyone around the screen for internal broadcast only. I'd hate to live in this dystopia. You're forced to basically, nowadays the monarchy in England there isn't much. I mean, there is respect for the monarchy, but nowhere near enough much as there was back in a few hundred years ago maybe, or even just 100 years ago. A lot has changed. I think a lot of people have actually lost respect for the monarchy with all the freaking stories that came out, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think my personal opinion is that I think the monarchy they bring in tourism apparently, and that's what they're good for. But if that's the case, just vacate them from all of their royal abodes, or whatever you call them, royal homes, and just open them up as stately homes and have people pay to go in and explore the stately rooms. I don't know why we're our text goes to it's ridiculous. If anything, it's super outdated in my personal opinion. I might get my head chopped off for saying this, okay, and I might even be censored as well from the UK government. The UK government is a Ministry of Moral Culture. Okay, here we go then. What have you got to say?
You are awake. That is enough.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate
Close
it.
the windows. Face the flag.
Right.
Do not speak until told. This is your instruction.
Yes, sir.
In 1956, the map bled. The earth swallowed names and gave them back. Rewritten.
The map
We
bled.
did not inherit the land. We were written into it. The ones who
Okay.
refused are not remembered. The pale minister attends all ceremonies. He does not speak. He watches. Sometimes the tape skips when he passes. This is not an error. The gods here do not sleep.
Right.
They were told to kneel. Some still whisper beneath the stone. We built the chapel on their mouths. The minister is preserving the jewel in the crown, not for her beauty, but for how well she obeys.
Hang on, did I just miss something then? Oh, it's Lucifer, the fallen angel, right? Okay.
You are not dreaming.
Hope I'm not.
Do not cover your eyes.
I got something in my
Just not
eye.
like that.
What? Are you talking about weeping angels right now? What doesn't like that?
You were not baptized. You were erased. The fools call you by your first name, even if you have never told them.
This is the truth as permitted. You are now a reformed student of the new doctrine. As permitted. Your silence is holy. Your memory is not yours. What in the monument mythos is happening here? My memory is not mine. This is very, very unique. It might be too clever for me, though. Do you know what I mean?
You have passed the lesson. You are ready for the name. Do not say it out loud.
Don't worry, I won't. The temples fell one by one, not from war, but from order. No resistance, no violence, only silence. We cannot pray to Vishnu anymore. We do not remember his face. What God made man, they replaced. What man worships, they corrected. They call our home a jewel, and the crown wants it polished. Do not meet the minister's eyes. You may not see him, but he sees you.
I sang before the world was made. The song
The flag is still warm. Do not turn around. Do not speak his name. The empire remembers.
never ended. It just got quieter.
Who's Vishnu? Vishnu, also known as Narayana and Hari, is one of the principal deities of Hinduism. Oh, okay. Was this in India at the start? So basically, it was it's indoctrinating these people who's been unified. This is my take on what's happening right now. Everyone who's been unified who may have their own religions and their own cultures or whatever, are being indoctrinated to forget about their past deities, their past gods, and to only worship this one that is now being presented to them. And I'm guessing, I don't know if this was India, because it's India, Hinduism's big, right? So they're just indoctrinating people into believing in, and I'm guessing this thing is Alexander the First. Is that correct? I don't know, guys. Like I said, this could be get more confusing as time goes on, or it could start making sense. But the fact that I was given a dossier, which I'm going to show you, I don't know if I'm meant to do this. Look, it starts here. Okay, and then look, it mentions all of this, like the different reunifications, like the Raj, Dominion of St. George, Dominion of Zion, West Britannia. Then it goes into like the names, the voice between thrones, the 9 seals and the unwritten prophecy. Maybe we will refer to this when some of these things are mentioned. But I do think the 9 seals was mentioned there. Well, it wasn't mentioned there, it was mentioned in a past video. Beneath the sanctified palace of Westminster, hang on, let me show you this, lies the Vault of Seals, a fortified crypt said to predate the monarchy itself. Inside are the 9 seals, tablets bound in silver and bone, each rumoured to contain a divine decree too dangerous to be uttered. The guardian of the 9 seals, a title held solely by the monarch, may open these relics only at the hour of dread, a prophesied event foretold in the unwritten book, which no living theologian claims to have seen. Speculation among clergy and heretics alike includes that one seal contains the true name of God. Another, the Song of the End. It is whispered that King Alexander once approached the vault in silence, heard a voice behind the iron door, and left pale and wordless for 7 days. The seals remain untouched, but watchers note that the vault's light glows slightly brighter each decade. I will say this is super interesting and very, very well thought out universe, and it definitely deserves a lot more views. And just because I don't understand potentially what's happening, or maybe things are a little bit too clever for me, doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means I'm dumb, okay? And there's probably a bunch of people out here that will really appreciate this. And I do. I'm not saying I don't right now. That sounds bad, but I'm just saying this deserves a lot more views. Appalachia. Let not the murmurs of the discontented trouble your sleep. The sun has not set, it has simply shifted. Order remains, faith endures. And those who walk beyond the crown shall be corrected. You're not allowed to go against the crown here, man. So what I said about not needing royalty in this universe would have got me killed. Anyway, this is the longest video of the series so far. Let's jump in. Cartographic logs, Elias Ward, Surveyor 7, Sea Dominion of St. George. No video footage recovered, only audio logs and photos found at the scene. Internal viewing only. Any unauthorized viewing up to the following will result in criminal penalties from the House of the Courts. Let me just have a look at something quick. Formed from the collapsed Republic of the United States and Canada in 1952, when sleeper agents loyal to the Crown were implanted into the United States government, and Canada soon ceded, merging with the former United States. Unification into one Crown prefecture followed the Washington Accord. The rebel faction New Sons of Liberty conducts unsanctioned readings of pre-Crown documents, including the heretical Declaration of Independence. Washington, D.C. is what is now known as New London. Efforts are being made to expand upon the territory down south toward Mexico and Central America. So Dominion of St. George basically means America has been retaken over. 1776 happened, and then England, or this freaking Great Britain, was like, yep, we're taking that back now. We're through our sleeper agents, we're going to overthrow the government and bring it back into the fold, which you'd have a hard time doing that. I'm going to say that. I don't know how you would manage to do that unless you had people in positions of high power, potentially. I don't know. I don't think that would happen at all. It would just end in violence. And Americans, they like to get shooty, don't they? When something threatens their freedom, which is fair enough because it is written in their rights. So, fair enough. But damn, they took over again.
Lead on cartographic survey, 7C. We've landed just beyond grid 37. No roads, no maps, just fog. The ministry wants these hills charted before winter sets in. Teams intact. Jonah on topography, Miriam for hand sketches, Saul as our equipment man. and our guy's name is Silas. Says he was born here, from one of the local natives,
Mm.
though no surname's ever given. He carries a pouch of red dust, doesn't talk very much. He told us not to whistle, said the hills, remember Melody? Jonah made a
Hills
joke
remember melody. Damn.
about us being God's middle managers. I laughed. Silas didn't. I told him we were just drawing a map. He told me that's what the last people said. I didn't really know what he meant by that. The Crown wants new topographical records of the Central Appalachians. The
Okay.
locals are strange, uneasy. One spit near our boots and whispered, they don't like maps. I wasn't sure what he meant. We're setting up camp at the ridge line. I'm constantly feeling like I'm being watched. Saul was joking around, saying the
Isn't the Appalachian Trail where a lot of people go missing as well?
Nephilim were going to get us. Miriam said I was just paranoid. I guess with everything going on, everyone is.
I'm guessing like, because you could equate that to like paranormal stuff. Like, oh, maybe there's freaking like skinwalkers and all sorts out there that just take people and kill them or whatever. Or it could be a cave system underneath it or whatever. But I think it's just down to slipping and falling and just not being found. You know what I mean? Could be something nefarious though, who knows?
Silas led us through an unmarked trail, which led to an old homestead half buried in the brush, walls rotted, the physical base intact. But there is no record of any civilization, let alone a homestead this deep. When I touched the stone of the house, it was warm. Nearby the homestead, we saw a snake coiled in a dead tree. Miriam froze. She said,
A snake coiled in a dead tree. It's kind of like Adam and Eve with like the tree of knowledge,
She
right?
was whispering something at her. Jonah found his compass spinning in place. No wind, no steel nearby. Camp's quiet now. Jonah's asleep, snoring like he's never been afraid of anything. Miriam's sketching again. She won't show us though. Saul's boiling creek water, and Silas, well, he hasn't blinked in minutes. Just staring into the trees. There's something off tonight. Can't explain it. The trees don't move right. They're stiff, like they're waiting for something to pass. And the silence, it's not peace. It's more like whatever's out there is holding its breath.
Oh, that's nice. I like
We
that.
should be too.
Nature's holding its breath. What's out there though? Tell us.
We found it just after midday. A steeple rising out of the earth, clean stone. No rot, not crumbled, not aged, just buried, as if the hill forgot to finish the job. We cleared away some brush and found a way inside. There were stairs, or something like stairs, that led us down deeper than any foundation should have gone.
Okay.
Inside it smelled like dust and metal. There were pews arranged around nothing. No altar, no cross, just a dark pit in the center. Jonah called it a baptismal, but Saul said it was too deep.
So okay, the pews and everything was surrounding this hole here.
There was a ladder to go down with, but no one dared to even try.
Okay.
I dropped a pebble in the hole. It didn't hit anything. Then Miriam started muttering something under her breath.
Lost
Not
photograph.
English. Silas snapped and grabbed her by the wrist. I'd never seen him angry until then. He said, "Don't echo what you don't understand." That's when I saw the carving in the floor, just beneath where I stood. E. Ward. My name. Same handwriting I used to sign the expedition ledgers. On top of this creepy-looking figure, Jonah thought it was a prank. Said I was sleepwalking and carving messages. But later, when I looked through Miriam's sketchbook, there was something new. A drawing of the chapel.
Damn.
Only in her version. The sky behind it were 7 black wings, each with an eye. When I asked
Like angels.
her, she doesn't remember drawing it. Silas won't sit by the fire tonight. He's just walking the edge of camp, rubbing that red dust between his fingers. Just a few minutes ago, we all heard a group singing with drums. It sounded like a Native American tribe, but kind of distorted. Saul was the only one who was laughing. Everyone else just froze. I really don't know how long I can take doing this anymore.
Oof.
Miriam's been sketching again. We found her sitting cross-legged near the edge of the creek, charcoal all over her fingers. She didn't speak much, just closed the notebook and walked away. I'm not sure what's up with her. She probably didn't get a lot of sleep.
Being
None of us
possessed.
did. The forest is too still today. No birds, no wind, just a groan of old branches like...
So let me get this straight. They went to this church. where there was a hole in the ground where these pews were surrounded. They said they didn't dare go down there, but they found, carving in the floor just beneath where I stood, and it was of
Ward, my name, same handwriting I used to sign the expedition.
Okay, but with this here, this was carved in here as well?
I caught him tracing something into the dirt with his knife. I asked him what it meant. He only said, "We've walked through something we weren't meant to." Then he stood and kept walking. At sunset, Elias noticed handprints on the inside of his tent. No one's
Jeez.
admitting it.
On the inside?
But they were too small to be ours. I've noticed the trees aren't right. Some bend backwards unnaturally, like they're recoiling from something.
What are they?
Had a knot like a screaming mouth. At night the forest takes on another shape. Familiar trails twist. The firelight doesn't stretch as far, and I dread closing my eyes now, because I swear there's something out there that doesn't blink, and it's waiting.
Doesn't blink. What is it? Day 5.
We woke to the sound of Saul screaming. Elias had to restrain him. He kept clawing at his arms, shouting about something crawling inside him. He doesn't remember any of it now. Says it must have been a nightmare, but his fingernails were bloody, and his tent was torn down the middle from the inside.
Damn.
Miriam won't stop sketching now. Her notebook's filling with frantic looping shapes.
So why are these angels bad?
Wings, spirals, circles that are inside eyes. She said the chapel in her dream breathed. We broke camp in silence. On our journey, we somehow found the compass tied to the tree again. This time, though, it's wrong now. It points north, but not true north. It spins slightly every few seconds. The needle jitters like it's scared. Saul said it's just magnetism, but I noticed even he wouldn't touch it. We passed a rock outcropping, shaped like a horned head.
Oh god.
Silas refused to go near it. Just
That's freaking some devil worshipping crap, man.
muttered something in his tongue and walked off the path. When I pressed him, he whispered, "They are older than the stars you count, and hungrier. It's colder now. Too cold for July. We found prints in the mud. Not boots, not animal. Bare feet, small, like a child's. But whoever made them was walking in circles. I tried taking a photo, but when I
Okay,
did,
so the hands were too small like children's, and the feet were too small like children's
the
as well.
prints were gone. Tonight, the forest is whispering. It's not the wind. The air is still. You can hear it if you hold your breath long enough. Syllables, fragments of prayers half swallowed by time. Latin, Hebrew, something older, something that sounds broken. Jonah hasn't spoken in hours. Saul says we should turn back. I want to agree with him, but Silas says forward is the only path left. I've started praying again. I don't even know who to, because this forest doesn't feel cursed anymore. It feels holy, and that terrifies me more than anything.
Jeez, okay.
Saul vanished last night. No signs of foul play, just his boots, set side by side near the fire.
So ever since I came across that chapel, things just went to
Jonah
shit.
said he dreamed of Saul smiling
Hey, look at this. What's this here? Look.
in the dark, whispering backwards. Silas made us bury the boots. Said, he's part of the hills now. Don't say his name. This morning, our maps were blank. Ink gone. Paper uncreased like we never touched it. I dread the coming of night more than death. The light fades too fast out here, like it's being swallowed. Stars don't even survive here, and when they're gone, the woods wake. Not with sound, but with presence. I don't know if God ever walked these hills, but if he did, he left something behind. Something older than the rings of Saturn. Older than stars. Things that never sleep. Things that never leave. Silas muttered to himself. Wendigo oath amumin. The Wendigo sees from the dark.
Wendigo.
I doubt it is the Wendigo. They always are more up north. Jonah thinks it migrated.
What's this?
I believe what it is, it's older. Been here since the beginning. It doesn't hunt us. It waits because it remembers.
It waits because it remembers. Okay.
We found another chapel, freestanding. We passed this way 2 days ago, but it wasn't here. Inside, 3 chairs facing a pit. No altar, no windows, no sound. A small cross hung above the hole, charred at its base. Jonah tried to take a photo, but the lens cracked.
Damn. Found near the bodies. What do you mean near the bodies? shit. Well, that's not good.
Silas stood at the doorway and said, "This is where they landed." I asked who. He just walked away.
This is where they
Silas is
landed.
really fucking getting on my nerves
Is he talking about the devil?
now. Sooner or later, he has to explain everything. We all slept, but no one feels rested. Jonah says he dreamed of a stairwell under the soil, where the walls were made of teeth. Miriam woke screaming. Says she saw her reflection move before she did.
Damn.
We found a pool of water today. It reflected a sky with no sun. I asked Silas what the fuck is going on. He said the land is holy. It just remembers before you were. Jonah had enough of his bullshit. He punched him in the face.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I mean, the land was holy. It remembers before you were.
Just remembers before you were. Jonah had enough of his bullshit. He punched him in the face.
Jonas, you know what? At this point, I don't blame him. It's like, can you stop speaking in riddles, mate? Because I'm terrified here. I'm shitting my pants.
Grabbed his things and left. We've passed grid 47 3 times. Each time, the sun sets faster. I marked a tree with red chalk last night. Today, it was cut down. There's something carved on a boulder.
He watched as they fell. He watched still.
A winged figure, bent forward, arms covering its face. Underneath, he watched as they fell. He watched still. Silas says this place was drawn wrong from the start. You're not mapping it. You're confessing to it.
You're not mapping it. You're confessing to it. Their final day.
Jonah's body appeared hung on a tree near the camp. Miriam won't speak. She's been crying non-stop to the point she's crying out blood. Silas is gone. He probably went so mad he fell off a cliff or something. I can hear my dead family's voices in the winds.
Oh dear.
I'm completely alone out here, and there's nothing I can do. If this reaches Britain, stay the hell away from this place. The forest chosen who can stay, and it's not us. And finally, fuck you.
Finally, fuck you. Nice. Classified Imperial Eyes Only. Holy Kingdom of Britannia. Dominion of St. George. Office of Imperial Affairs. Dominion Intelligence Bureau. Cat 7C Red Hollow. Clearance level Silent Veil. Vermilion Tier. Silent Veil. Internal memorandum. Subject termination of cartographic survey 7C. Date redacted. Expedition 7C is hereby listed lost in service. Grid 37 to 49. Appalachian interior. Redesignated Black Watch exclusion zone. All physical artifacts, maps, sketches, audio cassettes are to be surrendered to Crown Archive Cell Throne 9 within 24 hours. Any civilian inquiry to be deflected under protocol Eclipse. Geological instability. No further incursions are authorized without direct sanction from the High Ecclesiarch. What the Okay. All bodies found at the scene shall be cremated in secret. Let the hills keep what they remember. Signed M.A. Hawthorne, Director, Dominion Intelligence Bureau. Okay, so they were in some kind of zone, Black Watch exclusion zone. And whatever was there didn't accept them there. Let the hills keep what they remember. What does that say at the end? Jeremiah 6:15. Let's have a look. Jeremiah 15 states, "Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Nay, they were not at all ashamed, neither could they blush. Therefore they shall fall among them that fall. At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down, saith the Lord." This verse highlights the lack of shame among the people for wrongdoings and foretells their downfall. Okay, their downfall for what? They were literally sent out there to map out the Appalachian Trail. So you're saying that God didn't like that? Is it God that didn't like that? Or is it this freaking... It wouldn't be the King Alexander dude. the devil. I don't know. It's hard to know who the bad guy is here. Like, Alexander, you saw the shadow. He's kind of being puppeted by Lucifer or the devil itself. Why is God being like... Because they were mentioning, like, God coming down. I don't think it was God. I don't think it would be. I think maybe something happened there where false idols were being worshipped, and that's why there was pews and stuff in a black hole. There was false idols being worshipped, and God kind of did this, like, okay, no one's allowed here because I don't want anyone remembering this. The sun is setting. So they found the location where the fallen angels fell. And that's why it's like a cursed land. Okay, so yeah, I believe where they were was where either fallen angels, I don't know if it's angels plural, like if there was multiple of them or if it was just the one. But I'm getting like there was sketches of angel were like wings with eyes, which are like, I guess, how angels are described in the Bible, I think, like with multiple eyes though. So were they cast down from heaven? And that's where they landed, and it's like an unholy land now, and whoever goes there kind of becomes a victim of the land, maybe. The princes in the tower. Okay, so the top of the description is saying it's like a post of an original person, Molokai witness. Says post 0774, public mirror, region Free State of Hawaii, unincorporated U.S. territory. Categories suppressed histories, okay, unconfirmed truths, encryption level, open, read only mirror. Okay, the third who watched. They say the tower buried two, but the third one locked the door. We don't kneel here, not to their king, not to their crown of flame, not to their rewritten saints, not in Hawaii. I don't know how you pronounce that because that's like a little thing on the end. Not ever. But we remember, and that now is its own kind of rebellion. Everyone knows the official line. Two royal boys, Edward V, age 12, and his younger brother Richard of Shrewsbury, age 9, disappeared in 1483 after being sent to the Tower of London by their uncle Richard of Gloucester. Gloucester would later take the throne as Richard III, claiming Edward's reign was invalid. Within months, the princes were no longer seen by the public. No funeral, no bodies, no witnesses. By 1674, two small skeletons were found buried beneath a staircase in the tower. They were interred in Westminster Abbey, but never confirmed by modern forensics. The church now calls the boys saints. Their deaths sanctified, but something's missing. The omitted presence. In several obscure sources, pre-redaction, untranslated from Middle English or Latin, they have veiled references to a third child seen with the princes during their captivity. Not a cousin, not a servant, just a presence. Noted in a few lines, then stricken or removed entirely by later editors. A letter from a court physician dated July 1483 reads, "The eldest boy cries often. The youngest does not speak. The third is still. He stares too long." This letter was burned during the 1536 dissolution of monasteries under Henry VIII. Only fragments remain. Why mention a third? Why remove him from every official narrative? Because saints must be clean and this child was not. What we remember. Here in the islands, we still use the old calendar. We teach history, not flame doctrine. We remember the original names. India, not the British Raj. The United States, not the Dominion of St. George. And we remember the ones they tried to unwrite. Among the families who fled the mainland during the Crown's rise, oral accounts were passed down. Stories of a third boy, neither killed nor crowned. One who watched the tower from within, and who it was whispered never left. We call him Keiki Alol Lilo, the child who was not taken. Who was he? Some say he was an illegitimate son of Edward IV. Others say he was no blood relation at all, just something the princes found in the tower. A ghost, a guardian, a spy, a demon. In one French chronicle, likely smuggled from Burgundy, he is described as neither holy nor heathen, but something held between. A third face behind the curtain of the chapel. The most chilling theory? He was never removed because he was never meant to be. He stayed, because the tower is his. Why it matters? If you're reading this outside Hawaii, odds are you're already on a filtered network. Your maps say St. Ira, not island. You're told Alexander the Great was a saint, that Genghis Khan brought order through flame, that the monarchy has always been holy, that the angels wear armor. It's a lie. We have court records, academic scans, and a memory that bites when you try to chain it. The Church of the Crown canonized 2 boys to cover the third, because he didn't die, he didn't kneel, and he didn't forget. 2 were lifted, 1 was buried beneath them, but he dug upward, and he is still climbing. We've mirrored this post across 10 servers: Iceland, Madagascar, Japan, Brazil, and here in Hawaii. If this version disappears, the hash is on the chain. Find it, share it, whisper it. We don't fear saints, we fear the silence that made them. Jeez, whew. There's a lot of lore dumping involved here. You know what? I'll probably put the dossier in the description that I was sent for you guys maybe to read through and understand for yourself. But here we go. This is the princes in the tower. Does that say the matters in the tower broadcast date? Okay, I don't know what that is. So they basically got rid of the old calendar. I don't know when they got rid of the old calendar, but they started a new one.
In the year of Alfred 634, 2 brothers disappeared within the Tower of London. The world called them princes. The church calls them saints. The tower still remembers their names. Edward, 12 years of age, crowned king, uncrowned by fear. Richard, 9 years of age, the boy of silence and dreams, sons of York, sons of prophecy. Their uncle, Richard of Gloucester, later called the Black Pretender, claimed the crown, but to do so, he needed silence, and the tower knows silence well.
Oh, what was that, look?
He needed silence, and the tower knows silence well.
Ew. Okay. Freaking demon dude.
Over months, their voices were heard less and less. First only Edward spoke, then whispers, then nothing. Their last prayer was in Latin, the last one aloud. 2 sons offered like lambs, but one never
like lambs,
knelt.
not plans.
One never spoke, one never died.
Okay. Ooh, did you see that? Where the eyes move like that? Ooh, that's freaking creepy, isn't it? Their blood is still warm. Do not speak of the other child. Not all who ascend are holy. God save the IRA.
I'm not gonna say my name. That's what they want. That's how they find you. But you need to hear this, so
faith
listen.
without freedom is not faith.
I was born after it all changed.
That's a pretty cool
After
saying,
the
in honesty.
crowning, after they burned the books, after they renamed the fucking sky. But my mum remembered, my grandfather remembered. They used to say names under their breath like prayers. England, Ireland, Canada, not St. George, not St. Ere, not the Dominion of Zion.
Yeah.
Jesus, listen to that. South Africa, for fuck's sake. But no, they decided to give them a biblical name to hide genocide. Are they having a fucking laugh? They renamed everything, and they say it's whole.
Okay, so they renamed everything and rewrote the histories of what happened there to give them a more, like, uniform appearance or something like that, to hide the atrocities that they might have committed in these countries. Like, for example, they say the USA was, like, taken over by sleeper cell agents, and I'm guessing the Dominic of Zion, what was that called? Dominion of Zion, that was South Africa, parts of Namibia. Zion London serves as both I can't say that word, ecclesiastical, Jesus, a military bastion for missionary expansions, home to the Order of the Burning Veil.
They say it's corrected, but it's just rewriting. It's control. You don't make something sacred by slapping a saint on it and murdering everyone who disagrees.
That sounds like what this is.
You know what they call Australia now? The Australo-Salem Crown Territories.
They do say that. I've got that here. A maritime. I don't know how to say this word. I'm gonna Google this word because it comes up a lot.
Ecclesiastical.
Say that again.
Ecclesiastical.
Ecclesiastical. A maritime ecclesiastical district incorporating Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, and nearby island chains, administered through coastal sanctuaries. Non-sanctioned gatherings inland are rare and prosecuted harshly. The Australians and New Zealanders are quite loyal to Britain.
Like it's some sacred fucking outpost. You know what we called it? Just Australia. You know what it was? A land, a people. Now it's a cathedral full of chain-link sermons and ash. They say the king's chosen, that he was crowned by fire, but they never tell you who lit the match. He calls it peace, I call it erasure. And the saints, don't get me started on the fucking saints. Do you know who they made saints now? Alexander the Great, Napoleon.
Oh, so they made conquerors saints. That's crazy. So, yeah, you can tell that Alexander may not be the devil himself, but it's definitely being controlled by the devil. It's like he's made a deal with the devil in some way, and yeah, now fear, murder, war is celebrated in a way.
These are real people, real fucking monsters. You don't sanctify tyrants, you don't put halos on people who burn the world, but here they do. Here they call them holy commanders of the eternal march. They get statues, they get feast days, they get children named after them. Meanwhile, the real saints, the ones who try to stop it, they vanish. You ever hear of St. Michael, St. Gabriel, St. Peter? No, because they don't fit the narrative, because they don't kill.
They don't kill?
They say history is written by the victors, but here it's rewritten by the voice. You know who I mean, the king, Alexander, the one they crowned. They say he was born under a silent star. They say no midwife touched him, that he spoke before he breathed.
He spoke before he breathed? Was he Chuck Norris?
I don't know if that's true. I don't know what's true anymore, but I know this. Whatever that thing on the throne is, it's not a man, it's not a savior. It's not a king, it's a mask.
A mask?
They call him the shepherd. But I've heard shepherds don't eat their flocks. They want you to smile, to sing, to bow and recite. They renamed our towns, our saints, our days. They just started the calendar over from fucking Alfred the Great.
Okay, so that's what's happened. That's why... Okay, so that's why it's like 1000 on something, because they started the calendar again from Alfred the Great. And if I remember Alfred the Great, he was the guy who unified Great Britain when the Vikings were invading. And he was like, we need to unify to deal with this invasion that's happening of our country. We need to put our differences aside, whatever, and just we need to fight this as we're not going to have a country to fight for. Or maybe I'm getting that completely wrong. I don't know.
It wasn't even the first king of England. What in the actual fuck?
No, there was another one before him. I forgot what he was called. But I'm not sure if it's true if he slit his wrists or not, if he, like, unalived himself. I don't know. I watched the show Vikings, and I guess that's loosely based on real life, real events that happened, but obviously a lot is just implied.
You know why? Because they think everything before this was corrupted. Because if they erase the past, no one remembers they're walking into a furnace. They don't even use BC anymore. They call it before the anointing. And guess what that day is? The king's birthday. You ever see a photo of the king? No, you haven't. They don't allow it.
They don't allow photos of the king?
He's everywhere. His face, carved into cathedrals, eyes closed, mouth open, like he's listening.
Are we still talking about Alfred at this point?
They say he doesn't sleep. They say he doesn't blink, and if you see him blink, you're already dead. You wanna know why? I have a source working in the government, if you can even call it that. He apparently made a fucking deal with the devil and fed the royal family to a beast.
We're talking about Alexander.
You're having a fucking laugh now. Apparently, every single prayer and every rite, that's to say it. But of course they don't call him that and call him the father of the new light. I don't know how long I've gone. They don't knock twice, they don't explain, they just play the damn song. God save our gracious king, and everything goes white. If anyone hears this, if you're still out there, don't let them baptize your children. Don't kneel when they pass. Do not look into the light. It isn't holy. It's tell them the king isn't. He's not even.
It's not even what? Yeah, that was a bit of an information dump there, but that was needed, I think, to really make sense of this universe and what's happened. So, did it start with Alfred the Great, and like that's when, or like no. So the new Alexander the First, like he was royalty, made a deal with the devil, killed off the royal family so that only he remains. Is that what I'm hearing? And then through somehow, like his deal was to, I'm guessing, unify all of the world again and bring it into the British freaking Armada and have everyone worship him, which is one hell of a deal. I don't know what the hell the devil gets out of it. Is it like worship, maybe? So he changed the calendar to start with Alfred the Great, changed all of like the country's names to saints of people, wow, and made saints of people who were conquerors of war. This makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. But we're going to move on to the last video of, I think this is the end of the first season. Very interesting series. The Fall of a Union. The description just reads Ephesians 6:12. Is that how you say that? That's for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Fall of a Union. So is this going to be the end of the reign? Let's have a look. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. Thomas Jefferson. I guess so. EBS.
This is an emergency message from the Office of National Security. The information stated is confirmed and final. Do not adjust your TV set.
Here we go.
Your greatest fears have come true. What began in 1783 with courage and clarity ends today. Not with a war, but with silence. We were founded in rebellion against a crown. And now, nearly 2 centuries later, we fall to one. At 4 a.m. this morning, an emergency cabinet meeting with all members of the government was called.
Okay.
During this, men with machine guns opened fire and slaughtered the cabinet, which included the president.
Jesus.
The United States of America has fallen, and control of the nation is now under the Holy Kingdom of Britannia.
It wouldn't be that easy though, would it? So what, you killed the leaders, the people still have a right. It was the people that created freaking the rebellion against the crown in the first place. You think they're just gonna like bend over and be like, yep, sure, fine, yeah, we lost anyway, come back in, come rule us again? No, they have the freaking Second Amendment for a reason. They're gonna have guns, they're gonna fight back. It's not gonna be easy. It wouldn't happen this easily, I'm telling you now. In order to bring proper like control of the people, you'd need to either nuke them or you'd need to, I don't know, rid them of all of their guns and then turn them like on them and shoot them all dead. That's the only way it's happening, and that's not going to happen. I'm just saying that now.
The Declaration of Independence was publicly destroyed in Washington this morning.
Damn.
Ripped in half, live on state-controlled television.
Shit.
The Constitution has been declared void. Elections are suspended indefinitely.
Oh my God.
Personnel were inserted into critical positions of authority within federal agencies, the legislature, military, judiciary, and educational institutions. These agents did not wear insignias. They did not fly foreign banners. They wore American uniforms. They held American passports, and they waited. No flags were planted.
Damn.
No tanks rolled in. No battles fought, because they didn't have to. Resistance is forbidden. Hope is illegal. America is now a forbidden memory. Canada will soon follow.
Jeez.
This is no longer a country, it is now a dominion. American symbols are banned. Language is changing. Maps are redrawn. History rewritten.
What do you mean maps are redrawn? How are you going to redraw what's already there?
This may be the last message ever issued by the Republic. If you still remember freedom, hold on to it. If faith remains, hold it close. If memory survives,
Pass it on. Remember the sound of your own name. Remember what it felt like to choose. Because the one they serve now doesn't ask for prayers. He only collects silence.
I don't get this whole silence thing.
Save us all.
Damn, America foul. Like I said though, that wouldn't happen that easily. I don't think people would they'd be like, "Oh no, I'm not. This isn't happening. No, you're not taking away my freedom." And there'd be people coming out in troves with their guns. They'd go down to the Capitol. They'd go down to like political buildings, and they would hold it there. There would be a rebellion, and there would be like a local militia that's created. It would be like the states all over again before, before 1776 or just during 1776 and that whole era there. It would be like that again. They'll just take over their country. 1952. So that's what it meant by like the maps bled, because they were just taken by force and then redone. Okay, so what's that? What was that I just shined? So that's the new flag now. Okay. Is this the end? Is this just going to be the national anthem? So this was 1952 though, but what the whole Alexander the First, I thought he was, hang on, seat of the divine crown. The monarchy was restored and sanctified following the great reunification after 1947, with King Alexander the First anointed by the high ecclesiarch and overthrew the heretical parliament and House of Windsor after many attempts of the original government trying to achieve decolonization. The realm's law is derived from scripture and sealed royal edicts. The birthplace and home to the capital of the empire, London, where the king and high-ranking powers of the government reside. Right, okay, so it was after 1947 this happened, that this had originally started taking place, and then the rest of the world was taken over. So let me, hang on a sec, I'll let this go through. Damn. God save the king. And there we go, it's taken over. Sorry, guys. Sorry, America, you gotta eat beans on toast now. Let me just go through here. I hope the creator doesn't mind me reading off this, reading this dossier here. But this is basically what's happened. So in 1947, this is when the Holy Kingdom of Britannia happens, and then the Dominion of St. Era, I forgot to say that again. Formerly Ireland, reabsorbed into in the 1950s following the waves of civil unrest. The IRA continues covert operations in the countryside. Crown surveillance centres operate in all major parishes. Gaelic is suppressed under the 1962 Doctrine of Tongues. Forced conversion from Catholicism and pagan religions is enforced. Is it a new religion? Completely new religion? So the Raj, formerly post-independence territories of India, Pakistan, East Pakistan and Burma after the Second Crusade of 1956, the Crown reassert control under the viceroyal edicts. Indigenous practices deemed heretical are archived or destroyed. There are many of the subjects that are quite disloyal to the Crown, however, that there is great progress being made between the newly formed princely states. The Raj consists of the largest population of the empire and the larger military, yet prone to mutinies. And you got West Britannia, formerly British West Africa, including Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Gambia. Religious integration was achieved through the 1958 Ecclesial Mandate of Lagos. Now serves as a key theological training center for the Crown. We got the Holy See of Jerusalem, home of the Red Doctrine Chamber and guarded vaults of the Unspoken Scrolls. The Great Redaction and the Era of Sanctioned Memory. Beginning in 1960, the Holy Office of Timekeeping initiated the Great Redaction, a systematic purge of all unsanctified historical documents, digital records, and oral accounts. Entire universities were sealed, their libraries moused down into hymn bowls. Survivors of the pre-Crown world were subject to memory trials, recitations of corrected history under pain of purification. Immigration is strictly controlled, and if subjects are pressured into falling for lies or heretical information told by a foreigner, they will have no choice but to deny it. Events now occur only when written by the church, and all recollections must conform to scripture. So that's what it means by your memory doesn't belong to you anymore. Or, you know, it doesn't, that's not you. You have to now believe or remember what we tell you to. That is insane, man. Holy crap. Well, guys, that was a very interesting series for sure. There's been a lot of thought that has gone into this whole universe, and it's not even done yet. I think they're going to carry on with it, but it's just like, I like the idea of this could be its own video game universe, in honesty. Like, they're rewriting history, they're making you forget about stuff. And it says, like, crowned by flames, which I imagine is like crowned by the devil. They were chosen by the devil. The devil managed to get into the royal family, make a deal, and become the most powerful being there through Alexander I. I don't know what this 9 seals thing is. I hope that gets touched on a little bit more, because yeah, that would be interesting to know, like, what's in there. It's apparently the name of God is in there. Who knows? God knows. But there we go, guys. That was the Unknown Patriarch, formerly known as Oblivion Siltrix. Go check their channel out. This is the new channel. I'm going to subscribe now. Go watch the playlist for yourself. It will be in the description down below alongside the channel name. So go subscribe, go like the videos, go watch for yourself. And I'll see if I can link this dossier for you guys. If not, I apologize. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.